Alright, so what's in this barrel might not look like much with it being the middle of winter and all. But underneath of these great big sticks and this mess are Sunchokes, also called Jerusalem artichokes. You'll see that this little barrels produce quite a bit of these Sunchokes. Go ahead and dig out all the mulch. You pull this out. One of the mistakes that I made whenever I first did this, when I was actually found some in the wild, is you don't see anything on the roots. So you get a little bit, you assume that there's not much that's happening, but as you can see, I pulled one out along with it, and that's what they look like. That's just one of what I expect to be many. Another one. So just a little bit of digging, I've already found 4. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going and see how many I can pull out, and then I'll show you what it looks like, how many we got. Right. So one of the things that I'm noticing while I'm digging this out is that I'm not finding a lot in the middle, because Sunchokes, one of the things that they do as a defense mechanism is when they find another root, or what they think is another root, that's where they put one of these tubers. So they'll put it right up next to the side because they think it's another root or a rock or something. And then they push up at the beginning of the year with enough force that if they're underneath some other root, they'll rip the root right out of the ground. Or at least that's the goal. So where I'm finding these, it's actually all along the edge and at the very bottom. I'm not finding too many in the middle on top. Finding it all over where it runs into the walls. So I'm gonna keep going. I've already got a pretty good pile. I figure maybe I'll show you. Here's the edge. If I just run along the bottom, you'll see one there. It's right stuck up against the edge. See where it was flat. And if I just keep going, there's another one. There's several more right there. Pulling that up. There's another one. So you can pretty well see how that works. Alright, so this is how many Sunchokes I got out of here. I didn't count. Some of them are pretty good size, but there are some in here that are fairly small. Actually, there's some that are smaller than that one even, like so. I did weigh them. It was 6 pounds 5 ounces out of 1/3 of a 55-gallon drum. I think that's pretty good for having not actually planted that drum. What was in there was just the leftovers from last year, and I'm sure I left enough in that drum in order to get about this much more next year. So all of these are going to be going over to the other property, and I'll be planting these out along the edges of the fields in order to have even more.